is the sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic sequence series is given by Sn equals 2n squared plus n. Calculate the first term of the series and the common difference. Okay, as I said the other day, S1 is the same thing as T1. S2 is the same thing as T1 plus T2. Now, to find out S1, we're going to replace n with 1. 2 times 1 squared plus 1. S1 therefore must be equal to 3. This means that T1 is equal to 3. Okay? Now what is T1 also known as? A. A must also be 3. Now we're going to find out what S2 is. S2 by inserting 2 for the n equation. 2 times 2 squared plus 2 equals 10. Okay? And then T1 plus T2 must be equal to 10. But we already found out what T1 was. What is T1? 3. 3 plus T2 equals 10. Therefore, T2 must be 7. The sequence goes 3, 7. The A value is 3. What's the D value? 4. Okay? So we found out what the first term is, it's 3, and we found out the common difference, it's 4. Okay, find an expression for Tn. How do you find an expression for Tn, lads? Tn? Use the Tn formula, A plus n minus 1 times D. So Tn is going to be A, which is 3, plus that's going to be 4 for D. So obviously you multiply by 4. And then after that, Tn equals 4n minus 1. Now that we know that Tn equals 4n minus 1, Paddy, how do you find out what T10 is? Now, what we get here, guys, is T10. Now, T10 is what, guys? Replace n with what, Mick? N with 10. 4 times 10 minus 1? 39, okay? Now finally, it wants us to show that T10 is S10 minus S9. How do you show that? So, T10 is what, guys? 39 equals S10 minus S9. How do you find out what S10 and S9 are? There's an Sn formula up here. So, S9 would be 2 times 9 squared plus 9, and S10 would be 2 times 10 squared plus 10, which is going to come to 210 minus 171, and that will get you 39 equals 39. Hence we showed that they were equal. Okay, question 7. The sum of the first n terms of an arithmetic sequence is given by 2n squared minus 4n. Find the first term A and the common difference D. How do you find the A value, Sean? A value. And S1 is the same thing as T1. So find out what S1 is. S1 is 2 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1. 2 minus 4 equals minus 2. A equals minus 2. S2 is the same thing as T1 plus T2. It's the two of them added together. Okay? And then, how do I find out what S2 is using the formula here? And then, going to find out that it's 8 minus 8, which is 0. So, T1 plus T2 equals 0. What is T1 again? Therefore, T2 is, what will add to minus 2 to give you an answer of 0? T2 equals 2. Now you can write down your series. Your first term is minus 2. Your second term is 2. What's the A value? What's the D value? It's going up in 4s. So you have A and D are minus 2 and 4. Find an expression for Tn. How do you find Tn? Anyway, Tn? A plus n minus 1 times d, which is, and 4. And then after that, 4n minus 6. Is that okay? Now, how do you find T20? And then we're going to get a 74. And finally, find T20, which is 74. Show that's the same as S20 and minus S19. What's S20? It means, S20 would mean everything added together all the way up to T20. So it's going to be a much larger number than T20 only. So use the S formula, replace in 20. And then how do you find S19? Same thing. Now, anybody have those two numbers handy? 720, the second one. 64. So if you replace these numbers, that's 720 minus 646, and T20 is 74. Is 74 equal to 720 minus 646? The answer is yes. 74 equals 74. Hence, you have verified that they are the same. Verify is the same thing as show that. Means the same thing. Okay? Now, okay guys, so what we have next is starting with the first term. How many of them must be added up to give a sum of 160? So basically what's happening is we're starting off at the number minus 2, isn't it? So we're starting off at minus 2, and we're going 2, and then it's going to go 6, 10, 14. Does everybody understand I'm counting up in fours? We're going to add all these together, and eventually what's going to happen is we're going to end up with an amount of terms that will give us an answer of 160. I don't know how far I have to go up. Okay, so to figure out this, what we say is when we add a bunch of these together, the answer is 160. That means Sn equals 160. Okay, and because Sn equals 160, 2n squared minus 4n equals 160. Bring the 160 to the other side. Is there anything? Can somebody list your options? There's 3 different ways of doing this question. Can anybody list your options, please? First option. The easiest option is to divide by 2 and do a simple reference number. What's your 2 other options? Minus b formula where a equals 2, b equals minus 4, and c equals minus 160. What's your other option then? Long reference number with a reference number of 2 multiplied by minus 160 to give you minus 320. So we'll do what Sam told us to do, probably the smartest thing. So we're going to divide by 2, and what we're going to get is n squared minus 2n minus 80. 2 numbers that will multiply to give you minus 80, but they'll add to give you minus 2. Minus 10 plus 8. n minus 10. N plus 8 equals 0. What happens next? N equals 10, or n will equal minus 8. Can n be equal to minus 8? No. Now what this means, for those of you that don't really know what the n stands for there, okay? What this will mean is this. If I add together, if I just keep going, remember I had this down earlier, and it's like this is T1, that's T2, that's T3, that's T4. Eventually, if I keep writing now all the terms like this, if I went all the way up to T10, it's only when I add on the 34 at the end. All of this here will add up to what number? What will all them add up to? 160. That's it.